Did you ever feel like you were having to learn things you didn't really want to know, and that life seemed to be full of those things all of a sudden? That's probably the way you feel if you're a part of our church here at Kingwood First Baptist Church, because we live in an area that's been a part of hurricanes, been a part of floods, and now a part of the coronavirus. And it just seems like things keep happening. And how in the world are we going to continue? Let me encourage you that you and I are called upon to live by faith. And living by faith involves learning about each other and about the world and about God. We base our faith not on what we experience and not on what we already know, but upon who God is and what God tells us about Himself. The book of Isaiah chapter 41, verse 13, God tells us that it is I who hold on to your right hand. Fear not, for I am with you, He says. I want to encourage you in these times to consider that God has us learning things that we thought we already knew and thought we'd already learned, and yet we're having to learn even more. We just finished a giving campaign here at Kingwood First Baptist, and we had a lot to learn during that process, and it seemed like we were through with learning, and yet here we are in the midst of giving. Giving in a church is a part of a faith process. We live as a church on the basis of free will offerings. And we know you're wondering about what to do about those kind of things when you're wondering about your very job and wondering about everything around you. We want to encourage you that we live by faith. Here at Kingwood First Baptist, we have stopped a building program that we had in place. We have shut down the architect for a while, and we will trust in the Lord to tell us when to start those things up again. But we have no more expenses in that area, so if you've made a pledge toward a building program over the last month or so here at Kingwood First Baptist, we want to encourage you that we trust that if you need to step back from that, if you need to set that aside for a while, we will have faith in you and faith in God that you'll know when to regain that and start that again, and we trust you with those financial decisions. We also want you to know, however, that we do live by faith here. This is a giving organization. It is one based on free will offerings. And we know that you're worried about your own finances and worried about the future. But I want to encourage you that giving is an act of faith. It's an act of faith in God and faith in each other. You can have faith in us. We have shut down as many expenses as we possibly can here at Kingwood First Baptist. We are doing our best to be good stewards of the time and the effort that God has given us. We're following through on the guidelines that have been given us. But we want also to recognize that we want to continue doing ministry. It's a great time to do that. We had over 550 people gathering on an online worship service this past week. We have lots of ministry that's going on, reaching out to people, touching their lives, expressing all kinds of encouragement and faith. We want you to be involved in that, and we trust you to do that as you have opportunity. But to remember that giving is something you can do online. And if this is something new for you to learn, let me encourage you that learning that is a good thing. We absolutely are learning new things. So learn how to give online and give online. Learn how to worship online and worship online. It's one of those wonderful times where we learn that the grace God gives is a gift. And giving is the way we learn that. Paul talks to the people in Corinth, and he tells them that there had been a time in the past when they needed and other people gave to them. And now there's a time when they have a lot, and he is encouraging them to learn that grace of giving and that God gives more grace. So as you consider these days and as God gives opportunity, please follow through on your giving. Consider that God is encouraging you to live by faith. Reach out and take a hold of His hand and continue to walk with Him. Let's do so together and look forward to what God is teaching us. Even if it would not be our choice to learn in this exact way, this is God's way, this is God's time, and it is something for us to learn, and we will learn not only about this situation, but about Him. And as we learn about Him and we share that with each other, together, that's indeed worth doing.